Hello, I'm David. Welcome to Rockin' Years Homestead. I'm going to show you something to do with the bread. A recipe that we put on there the other day. And this is a frozen loaf of bread, or thawed out loaf of bread now. But I told you we freeze them and we can do stuff with them. So I'm going to come to you today, put a little flour on my fingers here, and I'll get this dough out of the bag real quick. And we'll show this to you. Just take it out of the bag. Like I said, I laid it out this morning. Intended to do this afternoon. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some raisin bread with this. So, and I should have laid down a little bit more flour. It'd be all right. It's not that sticky. Lay out a little flour before you put your bread out on your dough out on your table. And run it about. Get it off your hand. And we want to spread this out pretty good. A little bit wider than what we would typically do in the bread video. Just because we want to get a better coating of the cinnamon and raisins on throughout the whole loaf. So we're going to spread this out a little bit more. And this won't come back to me a little bit. But we'll spread it out probably about 12 inches by 12 inches or so should be sufficient. And you can roll it out or you can stretch it out, whichever one you want to do. I should have got the roller, but that's all right. We're about there. We'll show you how to do this. So we're a little bit wider. We're about 12, almost a square there, which should be sufficient for this cinnamon raisin toast. So what we're going to do is I just have an egg wash right here, just a beat up egg, and this is going to help the cinnamon sugar stay on there. So what I've got is I've got about a half a cup, 3/4 cup sugar. I'm not sure if I'll use it all. I'll judge it. And about a 1/4 cup of cinnamon mixed up over here in this bowl. And I'm just going to brush this egg wash all over this bread right here, or this dough. And nothing's going to change as far as the baking of this recipe goes, other than you adding a few extra ingredients to it. And like I said, I'd already had this dough mixed up. And I'll link to the bread recipe down at the bottom. I say I will. Hannah will. She does our editing for us now. And she does a wonderful job at it. So like I said, I've got some cinnamon and brown sugar mixed up here. And like I said, it's about 3/4 cup or so of brown sugar and about a 1/4 cup of cinnamon. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a nice coat of cinnamon sugar all over this dough right here. Now, I love this, and I'm probably made too much, but I just kind of done it to taste and come up with it. And if I made too much, it's fine. What I'll do is I'll just put it in a jar and label it and save it for later, for the next loaf I make. So get a good coat of this all over this bread dough. Just make sure you get a good coating all over it, because you want to taste the cinnamon raisin in there. Real well. I don't want to taste you know, nothing but plain bread. And then we're going to get some raisins here. I picked these up at the store the other day just so I could do this recipe. And so I didn't freeze them, didn't do nothing like that to them. So I'm just going to sprinkle them out. And I'll tell you about how much I do when I get it done here. Because I like to have plenty of raisins in my raisin bread. I want a raisin in every bite. So we'll probably go with almost 3/4 to a cup of raisins time we're done here. And it, like I said, there's no, in one of the videos, there's no right and wrong here. It's just what you like. And how you like to do it. And if you do it wrong and it comes out bad, well, try it again another way, or make sure you know, got pretty close to the direction, and don't give up. That's the main thing. Just keep going. I'm sorry about that crinkling there. And throw about, like I said, this is probably a good cup worth. And I'm going to keep throwing them on there because, like I said, I want raisins in about every piece I get. Just make sure they're put in there real good. A little thick corner there. You don't have to do this. I'm just kind of pressing them in a little bit. Whichever way it falls, it falls. And then what we're going to do is, the last time I didn't, you roll them up tight or not, but you want to roll this one up just a little bit tighter than the regular loaf. The reason why I made it a little thinner is that way it gets throughout the whole loaf. And we'll kind of compress it down or do something fancy with it. I don't know. We'll see what we do. Just kind of roll it up. And you got you a nice little loaf of cinnamon raisin. And like I said, this is not going to change. I have got a air bubble I need to release there. Much change the recipe or the cooking time for this. It's still going to cook it 400 for about 40 minutes or so. So it's not a huge deal. So I'm going to take a little extra and I'm just going to sprinkle it on the top. Pat it down a little bit, sprinkle it on the top. And maybe let's throw some sugars in there. It's not going to hurt anything. But it's going to have the same cook time. Anyways, we're still using the same recipe. You're just adding a little to it. And like we can build on this very simple recipe. I'm just going to take some of them in there. And then, like I said, you're going to grease your pan the same way. Put a little olive oil in that loaf pan. And let her rip. Nice. I'm throwing a few extra little sugar on top. We're going to take this. And I'm going to set it right over on that pan. Just give it a few minutes to rise. Like I said, you've seen the bread video. This is all pretty much the same there. And we're going to bake this in the oven at 400 for about 40 minutes. And we'll bring back and show you the final results.